All right, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to be focusing on broken authentication. Now, I'm breaking it up into parts. That way, it's easier to understand and everything doesn't get jumbled together in terms of OWASP top 10 and vulnerabilities, stuff like that. Authentication and session management constitute core components of modern web applications. Authentication allows users to gain access to web applications by verifying their identities. Most common form of authentication is using a username and password mechanism. The user would enter these credentials, the server would verify them. If they are correct, the server would then provide the user's browser with a session cookie. Session cookie is needed because web servers use HTTPS to communicate, which is stateless. Attaching session cookies means that the server will know who is sending the data and what data. The server can then keep track of the user's actions. Highly important in organizations in order to see who's doing what and hold everyone accountable for their actions. If an attacker is able to find flaws in an authentication mechanism, they would then successfully gain access to users' accounts. This would allow the attacker to access sensitive data, depending on the purpose of that application, and some common flaws in authentication mechanisms include brute force attacks, use of weak credentials, and weak session cookies. So brute force attacks, if a web application uses usernames and password, an attacker is able to launch brute force attacks that allow them to guess the username and passwords by using multiple authentication attempts. Essentially, you would want to stop this by limiting the amount of attempts that a user can have, and in some organizations it could be 3 attempts, in others it could be 5 attempts. It really is going to depend. Use of weak credentials. Web applications should set strong password policies. If applications allow users to set passwords such as password 1 or common passwords, then attackers easily able to guess them and access user accounts. They can do this without brute forcing, as the credentials are extremely weak. Weak session cookies. Session cookies are how the server keeps track of users. If session cookies contain predictable values, an attacker can set their own session cookies and access user accounts. You would probably view those session cookies in something like Burp, but that's a little bit advanced for what we're doing right now. There can be various mitigation for broken authentication mechanisms depending on the exact flaw. I've already explained how to avoid all 3 of these situations, so let's move on. Task 7, severity number 2, broken authentication practical. The machine is started, so let's go ahead and see if these machines are actually sharing domains so that we don't have to terminate it and launch another one. All right, so let's take a look at broken authentication practical. We'll go to port 8888. Looks like we're unable to connect. 10.10.122.222 port 888. So I think we're going to have to stop this machine, terminate it, and we'll start this new server here. Alright, so as I suspected here, target IP is a little bit different. Let's try again. For some reason it gives this IP.30. So 10.10.220.30. So 10.10.220.30 slash, actually not slash, port 8888. And we are brought to an authentication forum here. Learn about attacking authentication. This room focuses on teaching basics of attacking authentication systems. Here I have a login for username, and we're also able to register, which we're probably going to take advantage of, but let's read the questions. What is the flag that you found? Let's see. For example, we'll be looking at a logic flaw within the authentication mechanism. A lot of times what happens is that developers forget to sanitize the input for username and password given by the user in the code of their application, which makes them vulnerable to SQL injection. However, we're going to focus on a vulnerability that happens because of a developer's mistake. It is very easy to exploit. And this is re-registering. I knew it. This is re-registration of an existing user. So before I even read any more, probably going to recreate an admin account, right? Let's understand with the help of this example. Say there's an existing user with the name admin, and now we want to get access to their account. So what we can do is re-register that username, but with slight modification. We are going to enter admin in quotations, a little space in between one of the quotations. When you enter that in the username field and enter other required information like email, ID, or password and submit that data, it will actually register a new user, but that user will have the same right as a normal admin. That new user will also be able to see all the content presented under the user admin. So, see this action, go to the IP. We've done that and try to register a username Darren. You'll see that the user already exists, so then you try to register user Darren in quotations with the space, and you'll see that you are now logged in and will be able to see content present only in Darren's account, which in case our flag is needed to retrieve. What is the flag you found in Darren's account? So let's go here, we'll register. Username is going to be in quotation space, Darren, end quotation. Email doesn't really matter. We'll just say new Darren at fuckingtest.com, and we'll just say Darren also as password, register. Now we'll log in. We didn't have any issues. So Darren and Darren. Invalid username. Okay, so maybe we have to put the quotations when we log in. I don't really remember. Yes, we do. Okay. You need to log in a specific account to find that flag. Logged in as Darren here. Now log in. Okay, we'll re-register that username, but with slight modification. That and username field and enter other required information like email. Expression user will have the same rate as the normal admin. See the concept of new admin. You'll have to see registered and you'll see that you're now logged in and we'll be able to see the content present. Well, there's no content here. We're logged in, but there's no content, right? So let's try register an admin account. Say admin at test.com. the admin as we log in. Need to log in a specific account to be able to find the flag. It doesn't like something here. Alright, so although the note is telling us to register Darren in lowercase, we're going to have to do it with a new user, Darren capitalized, and in quotation, Darren at test.com, and then Darren. Log in again. Specific account needed, so where's the flag? I'm not seeing any flag here. So let's log out. Let's try the other user, lowercase. We'll go ahead and inspect and or view page source. A lot easier actually. I don't see anything in view page source. That's the session key. Is this going to be the flag? No. So upon logging in, viewing source page, you're able to see the flag here, which is for Darren. Submit that. Okay. Now try to do the same trick and you can log in as Arthur. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Arthur at test.com, Arthur. So we'll go ahead and sign in as Arthur. Successfully logged in. Go ahead and click complete. What is the flag you found in Arthur's account? Same concept here. Alright, now my machine's experienced a bit of an issue here. However, you go ahead and create the account for Arthur and log in. view page source and or inspect, you'll get the flag here and just submit. Now, in this case, the flag really is secondary to the concept of being able to overwrite users and take advantage of broken authentication. So let's move on.